Cooper. Seriously. Why are my doodles up here? Why is everybody up here driving me crazy? You see my dog? He's so big. Charlie. Oh. Hello everyone and welcome back to CoralJoyTravel. If this is your first time finding my channel, welcome. My name is Coral and I am the owner of a travel agency specializing in Disney vacations, which is a pretty awesome job. And if you are here because you are planning your own Walt Disney World vacation, or you're thinking about a Disney vacation, or you just love all things Disney and you are not yet subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button below and that bell notification so you are notified when I do upload a new video. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to plan a Walt Disney World vacation, and I'm going to boil it down and really condense it into 5 steps. The first thing you want to think about is, when do you want to travel to Walt Disney World? You have the whole year, but if you want to go during times when it's quieter or less expensive, you will want to avoid any break, like a summer vacation, any holiday break, Memorial Day, any long weekend. You'll want to avoid those. Say you're a teacher and you can't get off during the year and you're only limited to the summer times or those breaks. Should you not go? No, of course you should go. Trust me, people are going to be there, but just know that it will be a little bit busier. So really think about what time of the year you want to go. Obviously, it's really hot in the summertime. Even in April and May, it gets very hot down in Florida. So have a plan in mind. Think about when you want to visit the parks. The second thing you want to think about and know in advance is how many days you want to visit the theme park. So there are 4 theme parks at Walt Disney World: Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Those are the 4 theme parks that you can choose to go to if you have Walt Disney World park tickets. You can go to any of those 4 theme parks. So think about and do a little bit of research on your own. Think about, do you want to visit all 4 of those theme parks? Or do you just want to visit 2 or 3 of them? Kind of know that in advance. This will help you plan and prepare. I think a nice amount of time, say for your first visit, would be maybe a 5-night stay at a Walt Disney World property. So think about which of the 4 theme parks you want to visit. If you want to visit them all, maybe you want to have a 4-day ticket, or maybe you want to have a 5-day ticket. Think about that in advance. Maybe you want to do 2 days at Magic Kingdom, 1 day at Hollywood Studios, 1 day at Epcot, and 1 day at Animal Kingdom. That's a nice 5-day ticket for you. Going along with how many days you want to visit at the parks is also thinking about what kind of tickets are you interested in. Do you just want to do 1 park per day? And if so, that's great. Those are the least expensive tickets, and those are called base tickets. Or do you want to have the flexibility to visit more than 1 park per day? Say you want to go to Magic Kingdom in the morning, but in the evening you want to eat at Le Cellier in Epcot, and so you need a park ticket to get into that park to go to that restaurant, and you want to see the Illuminations fireworks at Epcot. That would be called a hopper ticket. So that allows you more flexibility, but just know in advance those do cost a little bit more than the base tickets. The third thing that you have to really consider when you're thinking about planning a Walt Disney World vacation is, are you going to A, stay on Walt Disney World Resort property at one of their hotels, or B, stay off property? That's a decision you're going to have to make. There are pros and cons to both. I'm sure you can do a lot of Google research and find out, but basically you will probably find that if you stayed off property, it would be less expensive. But if you stayed on property, you get the extra perks like extra magic hours. You get the transportation to the parks for free. You get to stay in that Disney bubble and not leave that feeling of magic when you leave the parks. Because when you're going back into any of the resort hotels, it's all run by Disney cast members. They're still joyous and happy and carefree, and they're there to do everything for you, and you feel like $1,000,000 when you stay at any of the Disney resort hotels. And a huge perk to staying at a Disney resort hotel is that you can use CoralJoyTravel services if you so chose, if you wanted to work with a travel agency to help you plan and prepare for your vacation. The best perk is having a travel agency such as CoralJoyTravel work with you does not cost anything extra to book your trip or to help you answer questions you may have. If you wanted or needed extra planning services, such as a daily touring plan, or for our agency to make your fast pass reservations or your dining reservations and guide you through what to do step by step throughout the day, those are additional planning services that you can choose to purchase, or you can do that on your own for free. But bottom line, if you work with an agency, and yes, here I am plugging my agency, but any agency that you may work with that specializes in Disney vacations, they will have your back. They will be with you every step of the way, making sure you know every date that's important to know, like your dining date, your fast pass date, your final payment date. That's an important one. But we're always there to help you with reminders, giving you tips, tricks, advice, experience, firsthand knowledge, etc. And all of that is free. So that's just something to consider too if you are going to think about planning a Disney trip and you are not experienced, or goodness, even if you are experienced, it doesn't hurt to have an extra set of eyes, especially if it's not going to cost you any additional amount of money to use a specialist in Disney travel. Now I'm done talking about me. Let's keep talking about planning this trip. The fourth thing you really do want to consider is what your budget is going to be for this vacation. Now, if you're staying on property, there are 3 different types of hotels that you could stay at: a value, a moderate, and a deluxe resort. The values are the least expensive, going up to the deluxes, which are the most expensive. Again, the values have the least amenities, going up to the deluxes with the most amenities and conveniences to other parks. So you want to think about what your travel budget is. Can a family of 4 go visit Disney for a few days for under $2,000? Absolutely. Absolutely you can. You can do that, or you could do a family of 4 spending about $5,000 or $6,000, depending on the type of resort, if you include a Disney dining plan, if you include park hoppers, if you include deluxe amenities like a club level room. All of those cost a little bit more. So you may have a budget in the $1,000 to $2,000. You may have a budget $3,000 to $4,000 or $5,000 up. No matter what, you can find a trip for yourself to go to Walt Disney World. Do not think that you have to spend $5,000 for a family of 4 to go to Walt Disney World. You don't have to. So know that in advance. If you don't have a budget and you just want the best of the best, you or your travel agent could find that for you too. But just kind of have a general idea of what a Disney vacation could cost you. I would say on average, and this is all, you know, there's so many different bits and pieces that will make this up, but I would say on average, a trip that I plan for, say, a family of 4 would be around $2,000 to $3,000. Sometimes that does include the Disney dining plan, sometimes it doesn't. So it just to give you a general idea, that's the average. Probably $2,500 is the average for, say, maybe a 4-night stay. So that's tip number 4, just knowing your budget. And the last tip is to know your dates. I will speak for my agency. If you're working with CoralJoyTravel to help you plan your Walt Disney World vacation, we will, a month in advance, remind you of every date that is important. So if you're doing this on your own, know your dates. Put a little reminder on your phone or in your planner or wherever so you don't forget when your fast pass date is. If you are staying on property, that's 60 days before your check-in date. If you're staying off property, that's 30 days before your check-in date. Know your dining date, that you can start making your dining reservations. No matter what, it's 180 days before your check-in date, whether you're staying on property or staying off property. And know your final payment date. You do not want to accidentally forget when your final payment is and think all along you're planning for your trip, and then when the time comes, you totally forget and your room reservation has been canceled. That's not a good thing. Now, again, that will not happen if you're working with an agency, so know your dates. I hope you found this condensed version of how to plan your very own Walt Disney World vacation helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any friends that you think this video will be helpful for, because you know they are planning their first Disney vacation, or they're in the midst of planning a vacation and they need a little extra guidance, consider sharing. There's a share button below that you can share this video with them to help them along the way. If you are interested in working with CoralJoyTravel, I will share a link in the description box below that will give you some additional information. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day. CoralJoyTravel, a touch of magic, sharing joy. Bye, guys.